Signore e signori,
dichiaro aperta la celebrazione Giochi Olimpici Invernali.
Si sta avvicinando allo stadio.
Forza, forza! Vai, 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 vai! Dal record della pista! Record della pista! Prima!
Buongiorno and welcome to Keep the Flame Alive's Day 13 coverage of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympic Games. I am your host, Jill Jaracz, coming to you from Shukflastan House, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Alison Brown. Alison, ciao, como stai?
It has been a day.
It has been a big day.
In many different ways.
And it's a Thursday. It's weird because that got pointed out to me when I was at women's hockey, the gold medal match, surprisingly on a Thursday.
I agree with that. And then the women's final in figure skating, also on a Thursday.
Yes. But I guess scheduling doesn't really matter when you're other people.
I guess. Well, we will get to the scheduling because people had a lot of concerns about this.
All right. But what did we forget yesterday?
So I forgot. So the day before yesterday, which I don't even know what day that was, we talked about me being a delicate flower. And we talked about me being a delicate flower because I lack coordination, and that can lead to some rather humorous injuries that have happened over the years. But I wanted to tell you that when I went across that bridge, I had to hike to get to and from the bridge, and I did not hurt myself.
Excellent.
You would have been very proud of me with I had to walk on uneven territory, on no handrails, rocks, snow. There was snow on the ground. Of course, it helped that there was a dog there kind of guiding me along
I see.
when I got to the other side of the bridge. But the first side, I really had to hike it.
Well, good. Good. I'm glad you're in one piece.
So am I.
I don't think I forgot anything about yesterday because I've totally forgot what yesterday was anyhow. So maybe tomorrow I'll remember what I forgot today about yesterday.
That hurt my head.
That hurts my head too. What officiating or volunteer job would you like to do?
So today on my way to figure skating, I went very early to try and get a seat in the media zone. Media zone? The Media Tribune.
Yes.
Media
it's
zone.
Mixed zone Media Tribune.
Well, I tried to get myself a seat where I was supposed to sit and ran into a volunteer who was collecting the children who were going to be the sweepers at the train station.
Oh my gosh, how cute is that?
So she was standing there with her little flag, like they didn't know who she was, and they all had their little suitcases, I'm sure, with their outfits and their hair things. And so I have a feeling not only does she take them, then there's another volunteer that helps them get dressed and get their hair done and get all ready. So there's a whole troop of volunteers. And then you talked about being the volunteer for them when they were actually on the job.
Yes.
So these sweepers have a whole volunteer crew that we need to be involved with.
I would like to do carpets and or flags because at hockey, there's no podium at hockey. There's just carpets, which I don't love, but they would have to have just a ton of podium for that. Although, truck it down from someplace else that's already done with their podiums.
And they did it at basketball. They did it in other sports that have team events.
Right. So it's really weird. But the hockey teams are huge. There's like 25 people on a hockey team.
And
or
they're
something.
big.
Yes. So I got it. It's weird, but it does take a lot of carpet to roll out. And the other problem with the flags was the silver medal flag, like, I don't know if it fell apart, the wires and the bottom bar, or they had to get it together. It took a little while. But I noticed it. I was like, what happened? What happened there? Do you need some help?
Because I can help you with flags. I can be on flag duty. Were they steamed is the question.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I'm high up.
I had some unsteamed flags at figure skating.
I'm just glad they have the flags there. I don't really have any high expectations about steamed. Come on. Wow. I did find another part of the hockey venue that is really unfinished. I walked there. There's like boxes on the ground, kind of unfinished. It was pretty scary.
Stay out of there. Stay out of there, delicate flower.
Did you have anything cultural today?
I had nothing cultural today except I did go to the grocery store.
Yes, because now we're on daily grocery store runs.
Because we don't want to waste food, so we're not buying very much at any given time, and we're running out of the things that we thought would last us through the end. So I found myself this morning with literally 2 or 3 apples in the refrigerator, and that was all I had left.
Man, I bought stuff. I bought like a bag of the comparable thing in America would be bugles. I thought I would try those. And I thought it would be good enough for 2 days. I hoofed it so much today that I ate everything that I had. So now I have nothing and I have to go back to the store. But at the store, I'm in line at the checkout counter. Who comes up behind me but my new photography buddy, Sergio.
Oh, you're
who is
kidding.
Also in the neighborhood.
Oh, that's funny.
It was so much fun to run into somebody you knew at the grocery store.
Well,
really
we've
felt
said
homey.
the entire city of Milan knows each other.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this to one of the people on my tour who was from Milan, and she said, yes, that's actually true. So you've become truly Milanese. You just ran into a friend at the grocery store.
I loved that. But then I went to the post office.
And you did not love that. You were very unhappy when you came home.
Yeah, and it wasn't horrible, but I do have stuff that I need to mail back because my suitcases are pretty small, and I did not expect to find a Milano Cortina sweater. Let me be honest about that. And I got 2, because I got one from Jaracz, and some pajamas that looked, or loungewear, because they will probably be loungewear for me.
Yes.
And that stuff probably won't be fitting in the suitcase. So I had like 3 bags of stuff to take to the post office because from what I understood reading SEO articles about mailing stuff in Italy, they have boxes at the post office that you can get and purchase. I assumed purchase. That was fine, but they would have them there. The post office does a whole lot of other stuff, like you can pay bills there and do other things. So it took me a little while to realize, to figure out how to get a number for the thing I was going to do. And I was mailing postcards to the donors who were at the postcard level. So thank you very much, donors. Those are going out to you. Knock on wood.
We hope we did everything correctly.
So I get my number. I'm waiting. I get called up and try to explain in my non-Italian, here's postcards that are going elsewhere. And the woman eventually gets me to realize that she wants me to sit back down. She'll be right with me. And she disappears for a while. And I'm like, okay. And she's got my postcards now. And then she comes back with them and like a big glue stick. And I see, okay, I'm gluing stamps on. I'm cool with that. And then she goes and helps somebody else, the next in line, who had a big parcel to mail, but they brought their own box. And then I get called back, and apparently there are no stamps because now she needs to weigh the different sized postcards and individually print postage for all of them.
Oh, no.
It was a long time. It was so long. And one of you, and she was putting the sticker stamp on that she had printed out because it prints out a sticker, and it accidentally covered up. It just accidentally stuck early, so it covered up part of the thing, and she had to try to rip it off. So it was okay. It turned out fine. She did a great job. It was very nice to me. Had very nice glasses that I complimented her on. But it was just one of those, like, now I have to haul 3 bags of stuff back to the apartment.
Because they had no boxes.
They had no boxes, and now I am on, how do I ship this stuff? So I will keep hunting for a post office. But it was one of those like, oh, geez, here we go. Now that I'm maybe done spending hours on logistics every day, I'm going to be spending hours for the next few days on post office.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But that kind of broke me because now we're just going to results. Usually we would say we're independent. We need help keeping our flame alive, blah, blah, blah. I am broken. Let's just go. We have results.
Okay.
Curling. We had the men's round robin today and the men's semifinals. Sweden, in the round robin, Czechia beat Sweden 10-4. Switzerland beat Italy 9-5. Germany beat China 6-4. Norway beat Canada 8-6. So the semifinals, because you go right into semifinals with this. Great Britain beat Switzerland. Oh, so the Swiss, who had been like winning and winning, all lost. Great Britain beat them 8-5. And Canada beat Norway 5-4.
So they reversed that same match that they had earlier in the day to get Norway into the semifinals, I believe. Then Canada turned around and beat them.
Wow. So now the gold medal match will be between Great Britain and Canada, and the bronze will be between Switzerland and Norway. Man, that'll be controversial with that whole Stonegate thing. Double touch.
Yeah, if Canada walks away with the gold medal, this will be probably the most controversial medal that we'll have at these games.
The women also had the rest of their round-robin tournament. U.S. beat Switzerland 7-6. Canada beat Korea 10-7. Japan beat China 9-6, and Great Britain beat Italy 7-4. The semifinals will be Canada versus Sweden and USA versus Switzerland.
And so the USA just beat Switzerland today to make it into those semifinals, and now we're going to have a repeat again of that pairing. So those matches are going to be tomorrow.
Figure skating, we had the women's, the free program. Last night of women's figure skating. Last night of figure skating competition,
yes, it
basically.
is.
You were there. Did you get a tabled seat?
I got a tabled seat. I got there early enough that I didn't get the good tables. I got the crummy table, but it was still a table.
Very good.
So I was pleased with myself for that.
How was it? Because I will tell you, you know what's... There is nothing slower than watching a free skate on the feed while you are watching a hockey game that is blurring by in front of you.
And I had the hockey game on at different points of the free skate.
Right?
And I was
Same
able
thing.
and I was able to watch, though, a good portion of the hockey game simply because the two early groups were so slow. It was just slow, except for Amber Glenn, who came out in group 2 and absolutely brought the house down. Ended up in 5th after finishing 13th. She was actually 3rd in the long program tonight.
Season's best score for her. She was so shocked.
Season's best score, knocked it out of the park, totally redeemed herself to herself, I think, is really the most important thing. That she can walk away from these Olympics saying, okay, I made a mistake and then came back and absolutely killed it in the long program.
Good for her.
When we get to the last group, Amber was still in the lead, and she gets to sit in the hot seat. The leader chair is the poor thing. She brought her phone, smart girl.
And a blanket.
And a blanket. And she was in her sneakers, and I was like, that's a smart girl. She knows how to handle a leader chair. But the final group was pretty magical. You had all 3 of the Japanese skaters just looking so incredibly beautiful. And then Alyssa Liu comes out. I'm so glad she went back to the MacArthur Park program and didn't do the Lady Gaga program that she had done at Nationals. And it was just, that program is magic. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I can't. It's just the right combination of choreography and music and gold dress. And even though it's a new gold dress and skater, just all came together for her. And just really, really good. And it, you throw around magical a little too easily, but it really was.
And I imagine in person it was just phenomenal with the crowd. You could tell that the crowd is loud, but in the arena, it's so much more louder. There is so much more energy that you just don't feel, especially with the feed announcers. I will tell you, listeners, if you're listening, because you'd get Johnny and Tara if you're in the U.S., but if you listen to the feed, man, I am about done with that guy.
He's not very good.
Well, he's okay, but he is from another era. Let's just say that when he talks about women. You can tell he's from a different era.
Like the 1920s?
Not that bad. I would say 70s, man. We're gonna get them back where they're good, and it's just bad.
couple things I wanted to point out. Kaori Sakamoto was second, and she had this. I'm going to try and explain this rule, but I don't understand it completely myself. She did 2 triple flips. One of her triple flips was supposed to be in combination, and when you repeat a jump, that is called a repetition violation. So I think on that second flip, she got dinged in her score and did not get any of the bone. She just got the base value for that second triple flip.
Keep talking. I'm looking it up.
So that could have been enough of a difference, but she still beat Alyssa on technical score, and the artistic score is what pushed Alyssa over the top.
Oh, that's interesting. And poor Kaori was just devastated. She was so sad.
She was crying the minute she came off the ice, which made me cry, which made everybody else cry. And then we get through this thing with Kaori Sakamoto where she cries and then we cry, and then she laughs that she's crying, and then we all cry some more. Very upsetting. But the first person to congratulate Kaori when she came off the ice was Alyssa Liu. Couldn't get to her fast enough, couldn't give her a longer hug. And when Kaori knocked Amber Glenn off the leaderboard, so to speak, and put her down into 4th place, there was a moment between Alyssa and Amber where it went something like, "You were amazing tonight. No, you were amazing tonight. Aww. No, you were great. No, you were better. You're going to..." So there was just a really sweet moment in the sidelines, if you were paying attention, between the Blade Angels.
Right. And I think, going back to them, I think Amber had said in some flash quotes, like, when she processes it, all of this, it's going to be tough to know that doubling, she would have been on the podium, probably.
Yeah. Well, she finished 3rd in the long program, and she was only 5 points off
so
the podium, and 5 points is what that jump was worth.
So that's tough. Kaori had, she did get the triple flip and repetition thing. So her first triple flip was a 6.97 and her second was a 4.16, but she did not get any deductions.
Okay. But I don't think she gets any of, you can only get the base value then of the jump. There is some ding for that repetition because they don't want people doing the same triple over and over again. They want to show variety.
Right. What happened to Laura Naki Gutman? Because I didn't see her, but she did not do well, it sounded like.
She did okay. There was a lot of the whole night was kind of filled with 2 feet and under rotations. So it looked clean. She didn't fall, but she had a bunch of, doubled the triple, under rotated, so it got counted as a double versus a triple. But she was only a point or so off her season's best, so it wasn't that much of a disaster for her. She actually did quite well. And not Olympic champion Sarah Hughes was absolutely right about the JAWS program. It works for her. Somehow her being the shark part of the time is just artistically impressive.
How was Adelia Petrosian, our neutral athlete?
She did quite well. I believe she finished sixth. And she did have a fall, but the judges love her.
Interesting.
I don't know why, to be honest, because I am not a fan. She does have the look of, all those Russian skaters of the past 10, 15 years and their jumping style, which I don't like because it's just like, I'm jumping now. It doesn't flow. It doesn't have that artistic qualities in the right work. I don't love her technique.
Okay.
But the judges do, so I can't.
Well, she didn't think the judges did because, boy, was she stony-faced in the kiss and cry.
She kind of is. That's her deal.
Huh. Okay. Who else loves her? The feed announcer. Because he could not stop talking about how, maybe in 4 years she can compete for Russia. Because, the Paralympics have allowed Russian and Belarusians to have their flags, which is a different conversation we'll have in a week or so. But I was just shocked at how much he was like, yeah. So
Well, the last thing I want to mention is the rag dresses. So not many years ago, during Salt Lake, we had a boss who asked me, Alison, why are all the women skating in rags? She had a lot of questions about the costumes. And I thought of her tonight because so many of these dresses look like the rags I used to tie around my waist when I was a little kid and play dress up with at my grandmother's house. So yeah, it's the return of the rag dresses, Vera, and I'm thinking of you for it.
Man, oh man, oh man. But nice night at figure skating.
Very nice.
A lot of good programs.
So the official podium was gold to Alyssa Liu from the USA, silver to Kaori Sakamoto from Japan, and bronze to Ami Nakai from Japan, who's a baby. She's only 17 years old and just absolutely knocked it out of the park in both her short and her long, and was really underscored in her long, because in the free program she finished 9th.
Which was surprising.
Which was very surprising. She had one double instead of a triple, but I think they counted some under rotations for her. But man, just to watch it, I was glad she ended up on the podium because she really deserved it.
Moving over to freestyle skiing, we have the women's free ski halfpipe qualifiers. First is Zoe Atkin from Great Britain. Li Fanghui from China is in second. Cassie Sharp from Canada is in third. Indra Brown from Australia is in fourth. And Eileen Gu from China is in fifth. Somebody got hurt today from Canada. We have an email about that. Oh, Cassie Sharp, who is in
third place.
She was injured on the course. She's in stable condition and is being evaluated. So they something to go back and look for. But hopefully she's doing okay and she's stable. But hopefully she will be able to compete and is healthy. In ice hockey, we had the women's medal games.
Okay, so let's talk about some stuff with this first. So first of all, a lot of people complained that they scheduled the women's gold medal match at the same time as the women's free skate.
I would not disagree with that argument.
I think what they intended was for you to watch the hockey game, and then when the hockey game was supposed to end was when the last grouping of the women's free skate was happening.
I guess they didn't realize how many overtimes would be in the entire hockey tournament, both men's and women's.
It's like overtime is the thing. So a lot of people were very chippy, to use my favorite hockey term, about the scheduling, that it was disrespectful to both the figure skaters and the hockey. You basically have the two biggest events for women in the Winter Olympics, and we're making them compete against each other.
Right, and on a weekday. It's a weird thing to do, to put them on a weekday. And the men are on the last day, Sunday, and they have their medal, they've got their semifinals tomorrow, I think, and then they get the day off. So in that day off, why didn't you have the women's?
Yeah.
It's just really weird, and I don't love the schedule for that, because I'm going to be schedule grumpy for the next couple of days, because everything is in the evening and everything's at the same time.
Yes.
And I will tell you, I hoofed it today. Boy, did I walk fast, because I had about an hour to get to speed skating. And I got there just, I think, after the first pair.
Okay.
Which was pretty good, considering how far you have to walk.
I know.
Do you have those little clues when you get to row? I know we're still not on hockey, but when you go to row, there's clues along the way that you're getting close. First, you walk like 3 or 4 moving sidewalks worth. And then you finally get to the volunteer, who is like the first wave of people saying, you are going in the right direction. Just keep going.
Just hang in there. Don't worry.
And then you're like, okay, we're getting close. And then you get to the next wave of people.
And there's more of them in the second.
Yes, more of them in the second.
And that's when they separate you out.
Yes, and she is, the one volunteer on the speaker was like, get your tickets ready because it's starting soon. Get your tickets ready. And so we've got a different media entrance that's the same as hospitality. And with your bag check there, that's a visual check, not an x-ray, because we don't have to go through x-rays like the
peons. We did for the first
We
10
did.
days.
Yeah,
and then they
then-
decided that we won't have to be x-rayed anymore.
Which is fine. We get into this. I love the woman at the gate who like sees you and is like, hey, over here. Come on.
Come on.
I'm like, oh, thank goodness. So then you get through that. And then there's 2 more moving sidewalks. You go downstairs and then you go halfway around the building to get, well, 2 more moving sidewalks. You go downstairs, you walk a little further, and then you go halfway around the building.
Yes.
And then you burst into the speed, as I am wont to do, you burst into the speed skating stadium and you think, please do not keep going forward because you will burst onto the field of play. You have to go to the right. Anyway, that was my hoofing it to speed skating, and then I had to hoof it to hockey. And I left and I got to hockey partway through the first period. Which was not bad when you're considering I am going from one end of the city to the opposite end of the city.
Yeah.
I've walked so fast today.
Well, take a deep breath. Between that and the post office, it has not been a good day for you.
Good day. That's why we're pausing on our asking for money. I just don't have it in me today, people. Though if you have it in you, we're at flamealifepod.com. So I get there and I just know, don't even try for table seats, right? I'm going right to the regular seats. And there are a lot of press seats up there for non-tabled. Yes. They are not all in use, which is in a way not surprising because figure skating going on at the same time.
Right.
And you have people who are at speed skating.
Who didn't hoof it quite as well as you.
No, there was one guy who was asking around, anybody going to hockey? Because he wanted to share a cab. And I just did not speak up because... This girl doesn't have a cab budget. So I get there and I'm just looking for the very first press seat I see, which is among fans. So they have maybe sold more tickets and are just like, go sit in the press seats. I have no idea how that worked. But I got in between some women cheering for the U.S. and then a man who was American but had been living in Brazil like permanently now, got married, and it's Carnival week in Brazil, and he decided, let's just bring my 2 sons up to Milan and let's go to the Olympics. And they have had a grand old time.
Fantastic.
Told me how idyllic Cortina has been. Which is killing me. And then he was really sad that his daughters couldn't come and see the hockey game because it was really special. Except for when I came in, it was messy. The U.S. was messy. And it looked like they were very nervous. It just was a big old mess. And then Canada, it took until the beginning of period 2 to score. And Canada's O'Neill scored right at the beginning of the period. And that was it for almost the entire game.
Yeah, it was 1-0
until about 2 minutes left when Hillary Knight scored for the U.S. and the crowd goes nuts. But it was a really big Canada crowd, unless your U.S. people were wearing red, because it was a red sea out there.
Well, I saw a lot of them on my train, and they were all going to drink before the game. So yeah, they were coming for you.
Yeah, it was really loud. The crowd was fantastic. Again, with the karaoke, Imagine. There's no better way to bring down the energy than make everybody sing Imagine together. Although the second karaoke that they did later in the night was Eye of the Tiger.
That's a little better
choice. And I got to say, I don't know if I've heard a song from 2025 or later in this whole Olympics.
I don't think we've heard a song from like 2010 or later.
I am dying because I know there are people who are like, oh, all the songs are really catchy, blah, 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 singing, and they got the soundtrack. I do not have the soundtrack in my head for anything like I had it in Paris.
No, not even close.
And I wish I knew, I wish I got hip to some Italian pop songs while I was here.
Yes.
That's what I was hoping for. Like, what do the locals listen to?
They listen apparently to American old-timey songs.
Yeah, I guess the 70s, 80s, and beyond is the only radio format that exists in Italy. The only song that's sticking in my head is Freebird.
That's true.
That is the American designated goal song. which I love.
Overtime.
Overtime. We had to go into overtime again. And behind me is a reporter who used to work for CBS News and is now here with CBC NPR. And he had words to say about the fact that the U.S. didn't get their goal until they pulled their goalie at the end. And then he also did not like the overtime format, which is 3-on-3 sudden death. I don't love the 3-on-3, but it makes stuff faster. And the skaters have to work harder when they're tired. And I don't care if you pull your goalie. That's in the rules. It's okay to do that.
You're allowed. That's the point
right?
that's the point of the rule.
Yeah. So if you get a goal, you got a goal. That strategy worked. So I don't know what was up with him. But US, of course, thrilled. My other job would be the power break. Is that what they call it? The power break?
Power break.
Power break kids who come in and shovel the snow off the ice. They also had to bring out their rolly bins so that they could pick up all the sticks and helmets at the end, because every U.S. helmet and stick went flying once they won gold. So that was pretty good.
So bronze medal game was also overtime.
This is wild. This is wild how much...
There have been more overtime games than any other Olympic tournament.
Wow.
Somebody may correct me on that, but I did hear that today, that there have been more overtime games in both the men's and the women's tournament than they've ever seen before, which I think speaks to the quality of the hockey being more international. We're not getting that only one or two teams are dominating, that you're seeing a lot more equality and equity in the talent.
Yeah. So, and having those nice close games and competitive games further down the bracket is nice, because it's great for the fans. It's great for the sport.
So in their overtime, Switzerland scored their golden goal with less than 1 minute left in overtime. So they almost went to a shootout.
Whoa.
And it was scored by Lena Mueller, who played in Sochi the last time Switzerland got a medal when she was 15.
Wow. That's amazing. Slight aside, I saw a Sochi media backpack today. They're beautiful.
I'm sure they are.
And I'm jealous. They are like, it's got patchwork kind of on it of different fabrics that were very patterned, and it was very cool looking. Like, oh, they gave out backpacks in Sochi too.
They gave out backpacks everywhere except stopped in Paris.
Yeah, I guess.
And now here. Here, we didn't even get a water bottle. We got nothing.
I'm not going back to that complaining, and I don't need another water bottle.
No, we don't.
I will tell you that. And I think it's just feeling appreciated for being here to cover their events.
A pen.
Yeah, right? A pen would have been nice.
Anything. Little mini Tina.
Oh, don't go too far. Don't be greedy. Do not be greedy. So yeah, I hear you have feed beefs.
So these are not my feed beefs. These are feed beefs that came from others.
Okay.
And the big one is basically that we don't like that the women's game is not being treated fairly. That it is generally being treated like we were saying, it's a Thursday night, and that on NBC at least, they keep bringing on the male players to talk during the women's games, or doing features on the male players during the women's games. And apparently, the note that I've been seeing a lot of, if anybody has to see the Kachuk brothers anymore, they're going to lose their minds.
What's up with this NHL affiliation stuff?
So when they introduce the players, they have a chyron on the screen that tells you what their NHL affiliation is. Mm-hmm. Not doing the same thing for the women players for the women's league.
Wow. That's something.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because it's not been an issue with the PWHL yet. And I'm curious when that will flip. But go see some women's hockey, pro hockey. Build that up.
Yeah. And, let's not have the Kachuk brothers doing anything with women's hockey. That cannot end well.
I heard Tom Brady was at the match tonight.
Was he really?
That's what I heard. I did not see him, but...
That is not a man who should be allowed around female hockey players. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, man. So one thing we were looking for was if Canada had won gold, it would have been Marie-Philippe Poulin's 4th gold medal. Not consecutively, but a 4th gold. And it would have been Hilary Knight's 4th silver if that had been that way.
Well, we just blew that out of the
I
water
know.
because gold went to USA, silver went to Canada, bronze went to Switzerland.
It was a very exciting night. Very, very exciting night.
Really good hockey tonight. Really good hockey.
Moving on to Nordic combined, really, really snowy.
It got so snowy that there was a goat on the run for the ski jump.
On that ramp?
On the side ramp, on the normal hill.
Oh,
there was
okay.
a mountain goat that climbed, not, like when they were actually skiing,
Okay.
so nobody was on it. But so when they finished for the day, a mountain goat found its way onto the normal hill
Boy.
and was climbing its way up. And I heard it yodel at the top of the hill.
All right.
So now we've had a dog and a goat. I don't know what that says about these Olympics.
So the snowy conditions made it hard to see. A lot of people fell during the cross-country race. So this really sounds like a survival of the fittest in a way, or survival of the non-stumbly variety. Gold went to Norway. Silver went to Finland. And we're in the team sprint, too. I don't know if we mentioned that. Gold went to Norway. Silver went to Finland. Bronze went to Austria. This is Jens Loras Oftebro's 3rd gold medal of these games.
Clean sweep.
I wonder how it's exciting for him, but as Nordic combined is the modern pentathlon of the Winter Olympics. It's always on the chopping block.
And when you have a clean sweep like that, and you have, Norway, Finland, Austria on the podium again, does that make it less attractive to stick around?
We'll find out. Our Shukvastani by proxy or relation, Nicholas Malasinski, who's Annika Malasinski's brother, he and Ben Loomis finished 7th. So diplomas for you. New sport alert.
Skimo, you were going to try and make the trip, but it was too snowy. And it's just as well you didn't, because we got so many travel alerts today about don't go to the mountain, stay in.
Yeah, it's been really, really snowy there. We've gotten the avalanche prevention. So we're going to halt traffic for a little while notification. We got please don't drive notifications. It's going to take longer notifications. And I did really want to see this so I could tell you what it was like in person. And it just wasn't happening because I would have had to leave probably 4:00 in the morning. I don't think I would have gone to sleep at all. And to include this long period of snow-induced anxiety, I guess. I don't know, but I wasn't getting there. And then we watched it, and it was interesting. And then it made me go, oh, the mixed relay is coming up, but the mixed relay is all of 45 minutes. And I just cannot justify, unless there's nothing going on, a 6-hour round trip to see a 45-minute race.
That was our biggest complaint about Skimo, was the races really were too short. Each of them were about 2.5 minutes long. And it was so quick that I didn't feel like I got a sense of the sport.
Right. And how difficult it was.
And how complicated it was, because we did not realize there was going to be a ski obstacle course.
And stairs.
Yeah. They had to they take off their skis and climb stairs as part of the mountain climb portion of it. And I appreciate that they want to make it quick and they want to make it a sprint and you want to keep people interested, but give me a chance to get to know the sport a little bit better.
Yeah, there's got to be something in between sprint and a long distance ski.
We need a 400.
Yeah, 400 or 1500 or something like that.
Yeah,
something much longer, because
some middle distance.
It just felt so short, and thank goodness there were heats. That's all I can say. If you bought a ticket, thank goodness you got heats, because it was over and done in a blink of an eye. And so really you get on the course on your skis with your skins on the bottom so that you've got traction, and you run up the hill. Then you hit this obstacle thing where you have to like zigzag through a maze. And
on your skis.
On your skis. You run up the hill a little bit more, take the skis off, go up maybe 10 stairs.
No, I think it was more than that.
Okay, you go up some stairs, put your skis back on, keep running up the hill, get to the top of the hill, take the skins off the skis. Some people, they had really cool technique for just kind of like
ripping them off
and hopping in the air while they're ripping, so they don't have to take the skis off at all. And then you ski down the slope, and the course didn't look necessarily wide enough for passing to be really feasible.
And nobody did. You know, there was no race that was decided on that downhill portion. It was all decided in the transitions.
Yeah, which is really sad, because, and the maze bit also, you could not pass in that. You could probably pass in the stairs, but it was an interesting course and an interesting looking sport, but all that it had going for it for me was newness.
Yes.
And what is this? This is something different. But when it's over that quickly, when you have a course that is designed to not allow for competition, that didn't make it fun to watch after a while.
Right. It was, you won in your start and your transition, which is probably the least interesting portion in terms of watching as a fan for people to win. And you want to see them pass each other on the downhill.
Yeah, right.
You want to see the downhill to be the most competitive portion, not when they're running up the steps. And you can't figure out, why are they running up steps? What is this, the Paris Marathon? What is happening?
Yeah, because it's ski mountaineering, and it was really billed to us as we run up the hill on our skis and we ski down the hill. When did stairs get into the... when the last time have you seen stairs on a mountain? I mean, they exist.
I can tell you the answer to that.
Is it by the bridge?
No, it was in Beijing on the ice stairs where I almost died.
Yeah, right. It did have
And
stairs
it was
built in.
not a good... No, there were no steps by my bridge this time. That's what I mean. I had to hike. I was ski-moing and I didn't even know it.
But you didn't have skis or skins on.
Well, that's not the point.
You might have just been mountaineering. But yeah, the whole... I don't know. I would love to hear what listeners have to think about it. Listeners think about it. And I haven't been able to be in the Facebook group as much because I've been hoofing it through most of Milan today. Because again, oh man, did I go so fast through that train station. And from the drop off,
The wind was blowing by your ears.
right?
You were like a drone zipping
Right.
around.
Right? I'm feeling new muscles forming every day. Oh, but the ice hockey arena, instead of the lights on the outside saying Winter Olympics, Milano Cortina 2020, gold medal game.
Oh,
all
good.
in gold medal game. That was cool. Anyway, back to ski mountaineering, which was over before we knew it. So if this stays, and it's a big sport in Italy. They were so excited to have it. No Italians on the podium. That was surprising. But again, heavy snow. So maybe that was a factor in some of this. I'm not sure. We don't know. Women's sprint gold went to Switzerland's Marianne Feton. Silver went to Emily Harop from France, and bronze went to Ana Alonso Rodriguez from Spain. In the men's sprint, Gold went to Oriol Cardona Call from Spain. Silver went to Nikita Filipov from neutral athletes, who is the first neutral athlete medal winner at Milano Cortina 2026. Bronze went to Thibaut Anselme from France.
And apparently the French are the favorites
Oh,
in
are
the
they?
relay.
Okay.
So keep your eye on them.
All right. In the relay, which will, and just pry open your eyes, because if you blink, you're going to miss this one.
Yeah, don't blink. It's like in that Doctor Who episode with the weeping angels who are coming for you. Oh, no.
But yes, let us know what you think about ski mountaineering so far. I'm very curious if it will be at French Alps. It might, because the French have done well. But we haven't heard much from French Alps anyway. So.
Yeah, they're not like LA 28 that steals everybody's thunder.
Okay, let's do an aside about that. We got an email. There's still time to get tickets and volunteer. It's 2.5 years away, LA 2028. I realize that the volunteer window sign up will close somewhat soon, but don't tell me a few months ahead of time that there's still time.
Especially not during somebody else's party.
Right? I think you got some problems in your own house to deal with.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about speed skating.
Yeah, I know, but if you're curious, we have some leadership issues and some choices in people they hang out with or used to hang out with. Anyway, speed skating, fun day, men's 1500.
Fun race.
Fun race. Venue music included I Would Walk 500 Miles.
Well, shouldn't it be I Would Skate 500 miles?
Might. But that's when I went, why can't we hear anything new? But people did like that song. People, of course, the Dutch were in fine form as fans.
As they always are.
I am understanding what I call flags as your officiating volunteer job.
Yes.
The red flag with the white Olympic rings on it is for the outer. But they're for the different, because there's a white one that had Milano Cortina 2026 on it.
Oh.
One flag is for the inner and one is for the outer. And that matches the armband for the skater. Because there was a false start today.
Oh.
And I noticed flags in action.
Oh, that's your favorite thing.
Finding stuff in action. Yeah. So in order to make the podium, this was so wild. You had to break the existing Olympic record to be on the podium. And that record was held by Kjeld Nuis from Netherlands, who got that in Beijing 2022. He skated a 1:43.21. And he also holds the world record on a different track. Gold here went to Ning Zhongyan from China, who got 1:41.98. Took over a second off of this record.
Whoa.
Silver went to Jordan Stoltz, who was 1:42.75. And bronze went to Kjeld Nuis, 1:42.82.
So he breaks his own Olympic record and ends up with a bronze.
Yes. And he was pretty happy about that. And then the Olympic record got broken again in pair 11 out of the 14 pairs. And that went to Joep Venemars.
But he didn't end up on the podium.
No, he didn't. He had 1:43.05. So he even took a couple of tenths off, basically, and still didn't get on the podium. It was just wild.
There was a lot of naked Dutchmen, though, on the feed.
There was.
What was happening?
They were very hot. They exerted themselves on a cold surface, and they get very hot. I know exactly how they feel. I feel it every day. I just can't take my sweater off and let the world see this action. Because nobody will be going, I see you've been hoofing it. Just take your clothes off and hang out a while.
And show off all your
Cool down.
tattoos, apparently.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's not happening either. I don't have those. But I did see some speed. I wanted to tell you, I saw some speed skating thighs in the wild. But somebody was walking through and they had shorts on. And you just see like the definition in the thighs. And it's just incredible how strong these skaters are. Just incredible. Ning Zhangyan, whoa, you could tell he was flying. Just the speed he had. Jordan Stoltz, he can get so low. And Noyce or Kjeld, I'm sure I'm pronouncing his last name wrong, but Kjeld said Stoltz just didn't have it today. And he totally lost the race. And sometimes you win silver. And that's the way it goes.
And that's not you don't lose silver. Like silver's not a loss.
Yeah, I know. You didn't get the gold because you just didn't skate fast enough. And it was just, you had to skate beyond fast to win today. But Stoltz looked pretty good. And I was surprised that he was, I would say, so far behind. But nobody was catching Ning. Nobody.
And he was very emotional when he won.
Oh, yeah.
There was a lot of tears and a lot of... I always love a good crying medalist.
Well, and there were a lot of Chinese journalists around me videoing when you're not supposed to. But they were very thrilled, too.
Yes, I had to instruct a young man this evening on the, you're not supposed to video. And he was like, what do you mean? Read your handbook next time.
And that is the end of competition for today.
Exhausting.
It is exhausting.
And I didn't even have to hoof it.
Right? I feel like I need to do a few laps around the apartment just to cool down.
We do have some gelato in the freezer.
That I'll have too because I am still hungry.
I was just thinking the same thing, that I'm going to see what snacks, like, you know what, Snacky Alison did not go to the grocery store today.
Oh, that was probably a good thing.
Unsnacky Alison went to the grocery store. So now Snacky Alison is just going to have to make do with what I bought earlier. But I did get some breadsticks. I did get another box of those breadsticks.
You do love those.
I do love them.
So yeah, there's been a lot of, I have cookies. I've got some Milano Cortina chocolate spheres, which are very interesting. I mean, are they just chocolate or do they have things inside? There is a filling inside, but I've always just popped them in my mouth. And when I bite down, I'm like, next time you bite half of it and see what the inside is. I have been very prone to the Kinder, they're like refrigerated cakes. Oh. They're just little snacky things for kids' lunchboxes, I'm sure, but they are also good for my lunchbox. I was going to say, they're very good for hungry podcasters. Right? There's been pudding in my life. I never eat pudding. What's going on here? You've been hoofing it around Milan, and somehow pudding hits the spot. That's right. And we have Shuklistan watch. Alana Myers-Taylor and Bree Walker are back for the two-woman bobsled. And I wanted to mention the Shuklistan medal count. We've got 4 golds, 2 silvers, and 1 bronze with 2 more medals available to us. Wow, we are doing pretty well. We are doing nicely. Nice. And we have shout outs. Yeah, first one is Beth Williams from Arlington Heights, Illinois. And she wanted us to know that she is the former winner of an age bracket for cross-country ski racing at the age of 4. And this was in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Are you going to show me where it was in our hand? It's up here. It's up here at the fingertips. Yeah. Good on you, Beth. And that would be, Beth, like Beth Hayden, who competed at 1976 and 1980 in speed skating, taking home a bronze at 1980 in the 3,000 meters. Also sister of Eric Hayden and mom to U.S. biathlete Olympian Joanne Reed, who is competing here. But, she must be a friend of yours, right? We've never met. Eric's never introduced us. But that doesn't make you her a friend by proxy? Or do you have rules around this friendship stuff? Well, I just, we've never been in a room together. You know of. That I know of, that's true. But I think I would be aware of it since Eric's my friend. I would know if I met his sister. Interesting. Who else do we have to shout out today? We have Don Whalen from Andover, Massachusetts. Don, I found some New England flair for you. You are like Donald Fraser, a Canadian Paris figure skater who skated with his eventual wife, Candy Jones, at Innsbruck 1976. They placed 14th. And then later they moved to Vermont in your neck of the woods, basically. And he had a woodworking and furniture business, which is quite an interesting transition.
Well, he carved ice with his blade, and then he carved wood with his, I don't know what you use to carve wood.
Tools.
I don't know those things. Maybe he used his skate blade to carve wood. Who knows?
You never know. That might have made it special. That might have made him have standout pieces. Well, Don and Beth, thank you so much for supporting the show. And that is going to do it for this episode. If you would like even more of the most fun coverage or the most broken coverage of the games, hit us up. We are at flamealivepod.com. That's your source for all of our socials and newsletter and direct ways to contact us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for what we forgot to tell you about today, which may be nothing, maybe something. We don't remember. And more action from Milano Cortina 2026. Grazie mille por l'ascolto.
And until next time, ciao and keep the flame alive.